Hey guys, I'm NYC, and I'm here with my friend. Say your name. Nuclear explosion. Anyways, this is our new football podcast. And first we're gonna start off with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is going to be traded pretty much. It's already been decided by him. Where do you think are some possible trade locations for Deshaun Watson? Okay then, don't talk. Anyways, I think he could probably go to a team with an older quarterback, sit under them for a year and let him retire, and then they have a very good franchise quarterback there with Deshaun Watson. And I think that could very well happen, along with maybe getting traded to the Jets, play for the Jets for a few years, have Sam Darnold be behind him, and maybe Sammy D will learn some things from Deshaun Watson, and maybe Sammy D can be their franchise QB. You see? Okay, I think that's enough for that question. Number 2. Do I or you think that fine, let's get to the point. Okay, who do you think's gonna win the Super Bowl?
The Cubs.
This is not a baseball podcast. If you want a baseball podcast, I'll get you on to my brother's baseball podcast.
Wait, hold up. 1 second.
Do you think the Bucks or Chiefs are gonna win the Super Bowl? I'm gonna go ahead and say I think the Chiefs are gonna win the Super Bowl. I don't think there's any debate there whatsoever. The Chiefs won last year by a mile. They didn't lose anyone over the offseason. They're just getting better with the additions of like the running backs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell. I think that the Chiefs are going to be a super team for a while, and they're going to be the team to beat for a while. The Bucks just signed a bunch of old players that aren't going to be around for much longer, despite Tom Brady saying he plans to play past 45. I also do think that the Bucks may have a good year next year, hopefully better than this year, because they have a lot of good players and they haven't really gotten much success. But I do think the Super Bowl easily goes to the Chiefs. Next question.
Next meme.
No, next question. Do you have
Next
any
meme.
questions?
What'd you put for number 8 on the math homework?
No, anyways.
You asked if I had any questions.
I haven't done the math homework yet. No.
Oh.
My question is to you, who do you think could possibly be on the Madden cover next year?
Do you think you could get me on there?
No. I think the Madden cover is probably going to go to Justin Herbert having record-breaking rookie stats this year. I think it's very possible it does go to Justin Herbert. Another thing, talking about Madden, another thing is, do you think Lamar is going to be back and healthy next year? Because the Madden curse is a big thing. and Lamar Jackson went out on his last play of the last game of the season with a concussion. And do you think he's gonna be back and better? Or do you think his career is over because of the Madden curse?
Yes.
All right. Well, I don't think the Madden curse has much to do here. I think it's just a concussion. I think Lamar Jackson will be back and fine. That it was not a very big injury. Now, don't get me wrong, the Madden curse is definitely real. So yeah. Next question. Do you think Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes should win MVP?
Taco.
Well, I assumed you'd be an easy Aaron Rodgers because you're a Packers fan over there. And I think Aaron Rodgers is definitely up there, but I feel like older quarterbacks don't tend to win MVP as often. I personally think the MVP for the season is probably going to be Patrick Mahomes. Now, another question. Who do you think the comeback player of the year should be?
Shrek.
I'll give you a few options
Definitely.
here because you don't know a ton about football. I'm thinking probably someone like, I think it's probably pretty obvious it's going to go to Alex Smith after almost dying to that leg injury and came back and played football. I don't want to say better than ever because I'm not exactly sure that it was better than ever, but he definitely played pretty darn well when he started games. Washington went with a very good record. Let me check real quick. What did they go? Alex Smith record 2020. He was 5-1 as a starter. He won 5 out of 6 games as a starter. I think that definitely deserves comeback player of the year. He turned the football team right around, and yeah.
I mean, like, not gonna lie, in Shrek 3, he kind of, like, lost the whole kingdom, and, like, Fiona was probably, like, the comeback player of the year there, because, like, he got the entire kingdom back.
You're a bit of a memer. So,
even though, like, Shrek was, like...
Yes, I know, okay? Anyways, you're a bit of a memer, so I'll give you a meme question. Who do you think the best third-string quarterback is between Trace McSorley, Chad Henne, Taylor Henneke, or why am I blanking out? Cowboys third string. The guy that was trash talking and then played horribly. I'm blanking out.
I mean, not gonna lie, have you seen, like, I forget now. Yeah, in the first Shrek, in Lord Farquaad's kingdom, he took on, like, 5 guys at once.
I think Taylor Henneke...
I forget what the guy's name was at this point.
I think Henneke is probably the best. I think Henneke might actually be able to
I think it started with, like, an S and ended with an Ek.
I think Henneke could probably find a starting job in the NFL, especially this day's NFL, which is struggling to find quarterbacks. There's been a lot of busts, I guess. There's a good amount of teams that need quarterbacks, and there's not really enough quarterbacks to go around. Because if we're going to be realistic with this draft class, there's probably 3 good quarterbacks, and there's more than 3 teams that need quarterbacks going forward. Like, the Falcons are looking to trade Matt Ryan. They're going to need a quarterback. Matt Ryan is not going to be around for much longer. So whoever trades for Matt Ryan's going to need a quarterback in the near future. So with the sparsity of quarterbacks, I think that Taylor Heinicke does have a shot at being a starter somewhere. And if we're going to be real, some of these backup quarterbacks could probably find a job somewhere. And some of these so-called bust quarterbacks could also probably find a job somewhere, find a home somewhere. Like, if we're going to be real, I think Sam Darnold has a home somewhere. I think Sam Darnold could probably find a scheme somewhere and be able to play. I think Trubisky can find a home somewhere and be able to play. I think Trubisky runs very well. I think someone helps him with his awareness and helps him with his decision making. I think Trubisky is a good quarterback, but at the moment he's not the greatest. But I do think some of these quarterbacks and second string quarterbacks like Andy Dalton and Nick Foles, I think they have some home somewhere. Even if it's just for a few years while a team tries to find a different quarterback, I do think they have somewhere to go. So, next question. Do you think, well, I know I told you about the trade from the Rams and Lions. They traded their quarterbacks, and the trade was Matthew Stafford for Jared Goff, 2 future first-round picks, and a present third-round pick. Do you think or who do you think won the trade? Who do you think had the better of the trade?
No.
Okay. Well, I definitely think the Lions had the better of the trade. A ton of draft picks and a mediocre quarterback that they could probably just trade again if we're going to be real here. Jared Goff is a decent quarterback. They could probably trade him somewhere else, and they got a ton of draft picks in return. I do think the Lions definitely won that trade. Matthew Stafford is a very underrated quarterback, yes, but will he bring the Rams to a Super Bowl in the next few years? I don't know. We'll have to wait to see. I do definitely think he deserves a Super Bowl somewhere, and the Lions...
Does he, though?
Yes, the Lions are not going to get
How
that
do you know?
to him. There's a lot of people in the NFL that deserve a Super Bowl, but...
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
How do you know?
Do you want me to mute you?
No.
Okay. So Mr. Packers fan over there, also known as Cowboys hater, how well do you think the Cowboys are
going to... liking good teams.
How bad or good do you think the Cowboys are going to do next year if they re-sign Dak?
Honestly, there's no saving them at this point.
Okay.
Just like being the Cowboys is bad enough.
Well, thanks. But so who do the Cowboys have to re-sign this year?
Me.
I'm not exactly sure. We have to re-sign a ton more than Dak Prescott. So if we re-sign Dak Prescott and we our and Dan Quinn does well as our defensive coordinator, I think that easily a playoff contender, probably pretty easily a Super Bowl contender if we're going to be real. Because at the start of the year, our defense was horrible, giving up 40 points a game. But the thing was, our offense and Dak Prescott was going to win us a good amount of games down the stretch, putting up 40 points a game also. Arguably, when Dak was in one of the best offenses of all time, Dak Prescott was going on pace to break records. He had 2,000 yards in 2,300 yards in 4 or 5 games.
That's a lot of yards. I only have one.
Okay, but that 2,300 yards is more than half an average quarterback would get in a whole.
How many houses do they have to have for that many yards?
In a whole 16 games, 2,500 yards is more than half an average quarterback would get, and he played
they just get the yard
of the games.
Someone else buys the house. I get it.
You're turned down now. So, I definitely think that as long as the defense plays better, I think... Stop talking! Well, that's... that I do think that the Cowboys could go far. Yes, I am a Cowboys fan. Yes, I've said that for most of my life. Yes, I don't care. Yes, I believe in it. Anyways, talked about the Super Bowl, talked about Matthew Stafford, talked about all that stuff. Not too much to talk about. I'm going to unmute you again, but you need to be serious this time. We have one last question. So, what do you think about the Chargers letting what's his name? I forget. Phillip Rivers, letting him walk, and he plays one season for the Indianapolis Colts and then retires, to not retire as his franchise team. How do you feel about that?
How do you feel about it?
I feel like that was a decision that was up to him, and if it's the right one, I am not exactly sure. I probably would have just retired then and there, but to be able to show your old team that just walked on you, like let you pass, to be able to show them that you could still lead a team to a good record like the Indianapolis Colts had, and even make the playoffs, I think it was a good way to show them that they missed out on a good season.
Honestly, I was going to say the same exact thing.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the podcast. I think we covered a pretty good amount of stuff. And thanks for sitting here talking with me. I don't know if you're going to be back for next video. I'm not going to lie. Because you don't know very much about football, and you were kind of just talking in the background.
That's what I told you.
Well, see you later.